welcome to the Mental Health Militia News, where I am your host, Chabal, here with his co-host, Mr. Munster. Thank you, Mr. Munster. Today in the news, we have a doozy, but before we get into that, I must mention a disclaimer. Yes, a news station that comes with a warning. Why? Because we care that the information we provide you might be fire, but it turns out that it is me and Mr. Munster gathering it, producing it, writing it, and delivering it. So it could blow up in your face like this gentleman right here. So please use this for educational purposes only. Moving on from the news to, yes, as we're still sitting here in the great media war of 2022, we are still stuck with being provided propaganda being pushed upon us, and hopefully we are not watching the mainstream media and just living our life the way it should be, knowing that we are being taken care of, and just keep on pushing forward. Just keep going. Moving on from the news to, yes, as we're starting to understand who Chabot is, he just needed to get the truth out, and he just hopes he's not pushing out misinformation and just wanted to give out people things that they didn't know before and they now can think for themselves. But you also need to know that Chabot is white trash, and white trash is contagious. So what you do is you just don't listen. You don't listen and you don't catch the white trash. You might be able to take medication for the white trash, and there is no vaccine for white trash. So it's all up to you. Do what you please, America. Moving on from who Chabot is to the opening quote with your MHM News. I will splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the winds. John F. Kennedy. Moving on from the opening quote to the opening story. Yes, the opening story is the plan to vilify DJT in the Spygate, presented by, yes, Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Satan Clinton. Moving on from the opening story to the miss opening story at the reactionary. The unstated scandal. The CIA collected info on President DJT. On Friday, special counsel John Durham filed a motion relating to the defense firm's potential conflict of interest in the Michael Sussman's case. The conflict itself is certainly intriguing, with Sussman's lawyers and the Latham and Watkins LLP having represented potential witnesses in the case, including Perkins Coie, former Perkins Coie and Clinton campaign general counselman or counsel Mark Ellis, the Hillary Clinton campaign, and Hillary for America. Yes, what you're seeing here is these people are singing like canaries. They're like, yes, either way, they are doing a lot better job at me singing because I have no information to sing, so I can't. Nope, no whistling there. Moving on from the news to, yes, the sick world news with your MHM News. To Peter Saloy resigns as Ottawa's police chief, says force now. Better position to end this occupation. Yes, Peter Saloy has resigned as Ottawa's police chief and will publicly announce his resignation after the Ottawa Police Services board meeting today. Sources tell CBC News. Yes, what you're seeing here is, I hope this guy had a savings plan because the cabal has taken over your city, and this dude's like, I'm not being part of this. I ain't pushing that agenda. I have morals. That's what he probably said. He looked at him dead in the eye and was like, I have morals. I resign. Yep, I was there. Moving on from the news, I wasn't really there, but in my head though I was. But I just have to warn you though, I might be a schizophrenic. Moving on from the news to yes, Prince Andrew settles U.S. civil sex assault case with Virginia Giuffre. Prince Andrew has settled a civil assault case brought against him by the U.S. by Virginia Giuffre. Miss Giuffre has been suing the Duke of York, claiming he sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions when she was 17. Allegations he has reportedly denied. Yes, what you're seeing here is hopefully she's getting money on top of the first money that she got on them 3 other occasions, because I don't think that she was sexually trafficked, but she could have been sexually trafficked. But either way, if she didn't get paid the first time, hopefully she gets paid this time. But she was sexually assaulted once and then went back 2 other times, or they brought her back in a cage or handcuffs or a mask. I don't know. I'm just reading the article, making judgments in my head. I hope I don't get canceled for this one. Moving on from the news. There's no real cancellations. It's just me talking stupidity. Moving on from the news to Welcome to America, bitches, with your MHM news. To yes, now even Democrats call for Hillary Clinton to be investigated after special counsel Durham revealed her camp hacked DJT's White House servers to link him to Russia. Yes, Democrats increasingly believe that 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton should be questioned over her alleged role in the Russian secret server scandal, while 44% of the party loyalists believe she should be interrogated. That October, the November poll jumped to 66% in the January polling. Both polls were undertaken before the special counsel Durham last week released a bombshell report, so that is now probably a 99.9% poll that Hillary Clinton should be investigated in her role of spying on DJT. We all know it, but apparently these leftist mofos had no idea which hand is left and which hand is right. Moving on from the news to yes, the list of 17 Senate Republicans joined Democrats to demand Joe Biden import more foreign workers. Yes, what we're seeing here is a whole bunch of mofos don't know how to speak up and speak directly to the American people to get off their asses and get back to work. And what we see here is in this list of 17 Republicans, if you really want to know, you just find out the article yourself in your Google search bar. But Chabot will let you know that these people most likely have an agenda to let in more illegals. But I'm going to tell you right now that we should open up the border to Canada. Mr. Munster said it. Open the border to Canada because these people need to be freed. And America is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we need some damn brave Canadians. Moving on from news to yes, my favorite section. You shut your mouth, we'll bomb who we want. It's war propaganda. Moving on from the news to yes, U.S. accuses Zero Hedges of spreading Kremlin propaganda. U.S. intelligence officials are accusing the conservative financial news website Zero Hedge of spreading Russian propaganda. Yes, what you're seeing here is that these people, Kremlin, are being accused of spreading propaganda that some stuff is going down, but I totally forgot the article. But all you need to do is grab the keywords and put it back into your search bar and blow it up. Moving on from news to how can I not help you with the tech support in your MHM news? I can help you by not completely reading articles and remembering. Moving on from the news to yes, TikTok users are feeding data to the CCP intelligence agencies, cyber experts warn. If you use the video sharing platform TikTok, you may be feeding information to the Chinese Communist Party, also known as the CCP. Intelligence service warns Casey Fleming, a cybersecurity expert and CEO of strategic advisor firm Black Ops Partners. Yes, what we're seeing here is the lady upstairs that lives above my head keeps on watching this stuff, and let her, because she's getting nowhere. She's going backwards. She's feeding into all this stupidity and watching all these crazy dances. Hopefully she dances herself into a hole. I don't know. I know not to watch it. I got it off my phone immediately. Moving on from the news to, yes, the political sports section in your MHM news. Mr. Munster is starting to realize that these things is fixed because there's politics involved. Moving on from the news to, yes, definite Novak Djokovic, I'm not even going to try, says he will refuse to play at the Wimbledon and French Open if he needs to get the Jabberwocky to complete, but distances himself from an anti-Jabberwocky person movement after the Australian visa saga. Yes, as we know that the Australian visa saga where some guy was allowed into the country without getting the Jabberwocky, and these people were pissed. And now this dude's like, well, if I got to go through all that, I might as not go, because I already got my money. I'm going to keep my body as healthy as possible and not have to worry about these blood clots happening to me. So I'm going to let all these other tennis players fail, die on the court, and then I'll come back and be the greatest in the world. So he's the one that's actually winning. So we should have never covered that, Mr. Munster, because he doesn't sound like he's bribable. Moving on from the news to, yes, there is no gender wars section with the MHM news. I just happened to click on it, and it's still funny with no article involved. Moving on from the news to, yes, the mass atrocity crimes preventing future outrages here with your MHM news. We're trying. I'm trying to prevent them. I don't think so, though. They're going to happen. It's going to go to hell. We're going to die. We're all going to die. I don't know. Moving on from the news to, yes, Michael Godwin. Andrew McCabe is a national disgrace. No. We're national disgraces. And we owe him a big fat thank you for making us look better. Andrew McCabe is a national disgrace. He was part of the most corrupt and most partisan leadership team in FBI history and was fired for being dishonest and under oath. Yes, what you see here is Chabot talked to the FBI. He knew if he lied to the FBI, they were going to lock him up. And Chabot was like, I'll give you what you need, FBI. I know my rights. And I know I do nothing wrong, but I ain't going to lie to your face. I didn't go in that building, sir. I stood out and observed. I was an observer. Yes, as we see here, is this man is a national disgrace and makes me look better in my life. Moving on from the news to, yes, the funny money section of the MHM news. Mr. Munster, why are you laughing? Because you said there's so many numbers in Bitcoin and you don't understand it? Oh, Mr. Munster, currency is where your heart's at. Yeah, Mr. Munster, if I had a whole bunch of napkins and was like, Mr. Munster, this is our currency now, you gonna want some napkins, Mr. Munster. Yeah. Moving on from the news to, yes, Moderna stock crashes, loses top 140 billion as insiders sell millions of dollars in shares. One of last year's best performing stocks, Moderna, has plummeted more than 70% from its all-time high 6 months ago. Yes, what we're seeing here in this article is that these people, they jabbed you up, had their money inside these stocks, and they were like, these people ain't going to get Jabberwocky no more. We're going to pull out and we're going to steal from them. And that's right. And then they're going to crumble everybody who invested in that at the top. Now you are crying that you'll never get your money back because we'll never have a problem like this where people are just getting jabbed up for no apparent reason. Moving on from the news to, yes, crimes against humanity with your MHM news. Mr. Munster, how do you prevent crimes against humanity? You stand together and you fight. Moving on from the news to, yes, Senate passes bill to make lynching a federal crime. The Senate on Thursday cleared legislation to make lynching a federal crime. The bill introduced sends Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and Tim Scott makes lynching punishable as a hate crime. Yes, what you're seeing here is that these people are trying to prevent themselves from being lynched when they go to Gitmo. But what they're going to have to work on now is the guillotine and firing squad. So now that they've prevented themselves from being lynched, now they're going to have to prevent themselves from being beheaded or being aired out. Like literally, like cheese, Swiss cheese. That's what we're going to see. Now we'll just wait till that hits the house. Moving on from the news to, yes, fraud, scams, and lies could target you. So protect yourself, people. You got to keep your head on a swivel like an owl. You got to be like, ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, there's fraud, scams, and lies going on over there. Ooh, we got to be up. Yes, be out. Moving on from the news to Sussman cooperating is a huge signal to others involved in the criminal conspiracy. You better get your deal in place before the music stops. That's right. I ain't got no music up there right now. There's too many voices going on up there. It was last September that Special Counsel John Durham signaled his investigation of the Spygate scandal has reached a new phase when he indicted Michael Sussman, former Hillary Clinton campaign lawyer at the power law firm of Perkins Coie, for making a false statement to the FBI General Counsel James Baker. Yes, what we're seeing here is this man was a lawyer and had no idea you couldn't lie to the FBI, and Chabot, who is a white trash contagious American, and he knew he couldn't lie to the FBI. But apparently an Ivy League school gets you nowhere. The streets get you somewhere. Moving on from the news to, if you've made it this far in your veteran section, if you've made it this far, you've made it to the veteran section of your MHM news. Moving on from the news to, yes, coincidence, 66 days after Q's Lanterns post, DOD posts 2 long candles looking lights and caps with guiding lights. The lights even align with angles in the Q post. Pain incoming. Yes, from Q post 3987. What we see right there, and then we see these ones right here from Department of Defense. Result is 66 days, 22 hours, 29 minutes, and 48 seconds. The duration is blah, 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 blah. But either way, we know that they are here with us during the war. Moving on from the news to, yes, Chief Justice Roberts is responsible for all 11 FISA court judges who allowed illegal spy ring on DJT. What we're seeing here is that these people are all probably going to federal penitentiary, while this man is going to Gitmo. That's right, you had it right, Mr. Munson. Going to Gitmo and will not be able to be lynched, but probably the guillotine or firing squad. Either way, let's hope it finds itself on the gray web and then makes itself up to the top of the iceberg, and then everybody can see it. And then I can laugh and go, ha ha, I'll put a reaction video on it, like, boop, 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 I'll be like, ah! It'll be a whole reaction video on his death. Moving on from the news to, gosh, if you've made it this far, you made it to the end of the Mental Health Militia News. That is all for now from the Mental Health Militia News. Mr. Munster and Chabot, have a good one. God bless you and yours. Holla, Chabot. 2 fingers. Love y'all. Love y'all. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Feels good. Feels good. Feels real good. Delivering the news feels good. Not touching myself, even though that feels good. Da 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 da.